for white Americans.
Amen.
And we're being driven out. You come here and you marry 4 or 5 women and you outbreed us. You change the laws. You make all of our country look like the places that you fled from. We don't want you here. Respectfully, get the fuck out of my country. I don't want you here.
What?
Get out of here. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. This is our country. And the people, the veterans, the World War II veterans, that's blood has soaked for our constitutional republic, are taking a look around Europe. They're taking a look around America, and they're saying, what the hell did we fight for? We have been taken over without a single shot fired. You guys are outbreeding, insidious parasites on the American way of life. You will never look like us. You will never eat like us. You won't build buildings like us. You are nothing. You can build nothing. Just like President Trump's great American friends have said. You guys are not us, and get the fuck out.
Wow. So we all know about Dearborn, Michigan. They have been overtaken by the Muslim community. This is what happens when we open up the borders to anybody. This is what happens when we are not being mindful of everybody that we're letting in. The number one, I don't want to say weapon, because I'm not saying all Muslims are bad. I would just say I have a problem with the extremist Muslims. I would just say their weapon is not guns and stuff. Their weapon is their ability to reproduce rapidly. Meaning, Christians, we don't believe in having multiple wives. They do. So they can have as many wives they want, and they are getting each one pregnant. This is how they can overtake a city, a country, a state, by their power of reproduction. As Christians, we do not believe in that. Muslims do. But that's how they are able to take over a country or a city or a state. One thing I can tell you about this, if you get white people mad, there's going to be some change coming. If this was a black guy that said this, probably everybody would be like, oh, he's crazy. But what's happening is I believe that people feel offended. It's because if you look at Dearborn, I'm not saying that the people there are extremists, but what they're doing is they're blocking everybody out from positions of power. Okay. The mayor is Muslim. Okay. Council members are Muslim. Not the fire chief, the police chief is Muslim. They have taken over all of the positions and put Muslim people in there. Are Muslim people bad? No. But if this is supposed to be the country that you're from and there's nothing but them around you, how would you feel? I can't go to any Muslim country and put a bunch of Christians there and say, you're going to follow our rules. I believe that's the reason why people are upset in Dearborn. They do, I believe, the 5 a.m. prayer calls over the loudspeaker for everybody. Is that respecting Christianity? Is that respecting other people in that city or that state or whatever in that city? No. So why is that right? Can I go to a Muslim city and just start preaching the Bible or talking about Jesus and talking about God? I would probably get killed for that. Let's just be 1,000%. So I just think that white America is upset about this because it's affecting them. This is how they feel. Do I believe that we should have hate amongst each other? No. Do I believe that Muslims should not be here in this country? No. But I do believe that respecting the religion that this country was built upon, which is Christianity. This is why I don't like the extremist Muslims, because they believe in Muslim or nothing. They don't want Christianity around. They don't want Catholicism around. They don't want anything around but Muslims. That's where it gets scary. That's where it feels like I'm being taken over. But how would you feel if you lived in this city for your whole life? You were born there, and now all of a sudden there's prayer and worship over the loudspeaker? I don't think that's right. I don't think that's respecting the Christian faith in that city. They were pushing people out, and they're not pushing them out physically, but they're by pushing them out by taking away all the positions of power, the way of life. Do I think that's right? No, I don't believe that is right. Is there anything wrong with Muslims? No, they're people. But I don't like the people that are trying to make everything else extinct. Now you're trying to take over. Now I feel like that's more of an extremist attitude. Because what happens? You're the mayor, you're on a council, you're in charge of the funding that comes through. Cities get fundings from the state. State gets funding from where? The federal. So you guys are getting money. Are you going to be really willing to give it to somebody that's a Christian or white over the people that are Muslim and with you? No. You got to look out for your own first. So now you have a stronghold on the money that's coming in, and now the people that are there that are not Muslim are getting pushed out because of economic reason. This is what they're doing. Is this right? Absolutely not. Do I believe that we should have immigrants? Yes. I don't believe the fact that people say we were built on immigrants. No, we were built off of settlers coming here and they had black people here. We were built off of black people. Okay, so let's fix that. But what I will say is this. There should be a longer process for people that come over here. I believe that people that come over here, if they're first generation or second generation, they should not be in any position of power. I believe it should be third generation or fourth generation that you could actually be a mayor or you can be a council member or you can be something. I believe that. Why? Because I believe after those multi-generations, they will start believing more in being American. If you're a first generation, whatever, you still are holding on to your faith. You're still holding on to your country. Why is it that these countries or these states are starting to look like the countries that they came from? They're coming here and bringing their situation into this city. So why do we go there and it looks like I'm overseas? That's what this guy is saying. I'm just saying it in a nicer way. Can I go from here and take over there? Absolutely not. It would not be allowed. This is why I feel like democracy has held back America, because there needs to be rules, actually real rules to say, you may be able to immigrate here. You may be able to work here. There needs to be a better process for that. But I believe that if you are here, if you are first generation or even second generation, you still are tied to where you came. You are still tied to your faith. You have not experienced America and understand America yet. Your family has not taught what America is. So you have to learn. But the only way you can learn is through multiple generations. So you should not have any power. You should not be able to be a mayor. You should not be able to be this or this or this, because you don't understand what it takes to be an American. Because if you did, you wouldn't be trying to bring all your people over here to make a little whatever here. Am I being racist? No, I'm black. Am I being against Muslim people? No, I know Muslim people. Muslim people are cool. But there's a lot of extremists. That's what I don't like. I don't like people trying to bring a religion here and say, forget all you other religions. I don't like that, because now that's just taking over the situation. You are now pushing your religion on me and saying, if I'm not getting with the program, you will push me out. That's where the problem is. That's the thing I don't like, is you're trying to take over. And the power that the Muslims have that is far greater than Christians. And Christians, you need to listen up, right? Is their power to reproduce. But they have a religion that accepts multiple wives. So this is how they win. This is how they're taking over some parts of Texas. This is how they're now going to be taking over New York. Don't forget, they're going to come for Seattle because we have socialist people that's going to let them people come in. So this is how they're able to win. This is how they're able to take over so rapidly. It's because of their power and their religion allowing them to have multiple wives.
America first, America only. God bless America. Jesus is king. 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 Let me grab my. Jesus is king. Jesus is king. Christ is king. Put your hands on me. There's no reason to put your hands on me. Jesus is king. Christ is king. Christ is king. America first.
I live in Detroit. I'll be here tomorrow.
We're coming to make sure you Muslims don't take over. What are you going to do? 2 billion Muslims.
Feel safe in America.
Go. Keep walking.
Your
Let's
threats
go.
don't
Keep
mean
walking.
anything.
Let's go. We will not surrender. We will not back down. This is what Muslim America wants us to do. They want us to cower. Christians, stand up. Stand tall. America, across this country, rise up just like we did today in Dearborn. In Texas.
It's time to
In
get
Florida.
better.
And the
What will
rest
our
of the
founding
country.
fathers do?
These people are here. I'm fine.
You asked for
What I've been saying, and if you're watching my other things about when we talk about religion, there's a war on religion. Right now, there's a war on religion. Right now, it's going to be a thing where it's the Muslims versus the Christians. That's the war. Persecutions are happening in Nigeria where Muslims are persecuting Christians. It's facts. Look it up. Muslims are coming to America and pushing Christians out and making them feel like the minority and the foreign people. I have no problem with having different religions. That's what America's made up on. But I do have a problem of a religion trying to get rid of a religion just because they don't like them. There's been a long history of Muslims trying to erase Christians. That's just what it is. Is this all Muslims? Absolutely not. But is this extreme Muslims? For sure. Those are the ones that don't want any other religion around. So what are Christians supposed to do? What is America supposed to do about this problem? It's going to be a war. But I tell you this, the Muslims need to understand this. White America, these young white boys that's coming up and they see this, those are the people you should be scared of. It ain't the black people. It ain't the Asians and the Latinos. It's white America. These young white Americans coming up that are going hard. Those are the ones you got to be very leery of. But do I like the fact of what I see at Dearborn, just as a person on the outside? I respect what they doing. I respect people because I am Christian. I do believe in Jesus. I do believe in God. Do I believe in hating against other people? No. But I do disagree on what they're doing in Dearborn immensely. Pushing out Americans, pushing out people that aren't Muslim, turning the city into the mini Muslim town and looking down upon other people that are not Muslim. I have a problem with that. So the question is this, what are we going to do and what are we going to see from this? What's going to happen next? Because there's a lot of people probably brewing and don't like this. But what happens? But this is what happens when you have your immigration, you have your borders, and you let everybody in. This is what happens when you have birthright citizenship. They get in here, even though they're not from here, they have a baby. Now their baby is an American citizen. All these things contribute to a city being taken over. Look at Minneapolis with the Somalians. There's a lot of instances that you can see that's just how they start. So as Americans, what do we do? What do we do? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.